So now your project has been created. We're going to look at the left side of the screen here and you'll see the project navigator. We're going to make sure that's selected. You'll see all your content here on the left. We're going to go from top down and explain very high level what's happening here. So you have your project folder. The first thing you need is go to the first entry and you should be your project name with the word app at the end. This is where everything starts. Now when the project loaded, it put you on the content view. We will come back to this, but here is where things begin, right? So essentially, we are making a new SwiftUI project. Here's our app main where things begin. Here is our project name with the app at the end, and here's our app beginning. And the app begins with the body. So the first thing that happens is there is a body scene that's taking place, and there is a window group. Whatever you put in this space is what will launch when the app begins. There are other things you can do here, but again, this is very high level. We're just trying to get you up and running and explaining what's happening. So what we're looking at here is we have a window group that starts by default, and the first thing that happens in this group is it launches the content view file, right? So if we look for this in our tree here, boom, there's content view. So let's click on that, and we're gonna go through this file. It looks like a lot, but it really is not, and we'll explain this in a second. But the last thing we need to make sense of is why is this here? Essentially what's happening is anything that's below this window group here, this default scene, you're just defining other scenes, other windows, other things. So in this case, we have an immersive space with an ID of immersive space with a capital S and a capital I. When this ID gets called or gets requested, what is he supposed to show or supposed to do? He is going to show this view called immersive view. Where is that file? Right here. So that's what's happening. When you have this app that you created, that's created for you, it provides you two free views, two free files to get you up and running. Here's our starter, and then here's the first definition. So let's go into the content view. So now we're in our content view file. Let's start from the top, and again, very high level, what is happening here? So we're defining things we need, our SwiftUI. There is some 3D things happening and immersive things happening. So we have our Reality Kit content taking place here. We imported those. This is a view. We have some things that we'll use for state to keep track of things. Our show immersive space boolean, our immersive space is shown flag. So all these will be kind of used later in the project. Some environment variables that we'll look at. And what's really taking place is right here. So we get to body. It starts with the view, right? We have a V stack. From a very high level, this just means stack things on top of each other. I don't want to define who's next to who and who's above who. Just go from top to bottom and stack them one above the other. So we have a model 3D. If you look here at the preview, there's a model of like a globe looking thing here, right? If we go next, we see text, hello world. We can change this text to whatever we want. So like applesauce, right? And we'll get rid of hello world. And now if your preview's on, you'll see. If you don't worry. This is nothing special, right? So we put applesauce, that's there. Next thing we have a toggle. So we have the toggle switch here. When I click it, it'll make something happen right here in the preview. You can't see. For this toggle, it's called show immersive space. Let's put show immersive space applesauce, right? And now again, here's that flag that we defined up here at the top. So is it turned on or turned off? And that gets used later on. The font size, these are all just basic details to what's happening. We're padding the window, nothing special here. Now a task is taking place, and this is where we're going to show an immersive space. So we go down, and here we have a wait for open immersive space. So anytime you do a task, you want to wait for the task to finish before you move on to the next task. So you await, and then you open an immersive space with an ID of immersive space, and that moves through here. So now we go back to the app file here, and you can see immersive space. Here's our ID for immersive space. Where does it get used? Right here in content view, right there. So what this is saying is you've defined an immersive space for me, and when I need to use it, I have to refer to it by this ID, immersive space, capital I, capital S. If I come back here and I put a capital A at the end, I come back here. If I do not put this capital A at the end, it will not work because it will not be able to find the immersive space that we defined. That's all that's happening, right? So when it opens, set the flag to true. Here, just error trapping. When it's done, set it to false. And that is essentially everything that's happening here. The last thing you'll see on screen is this preview. If I highlight this and just delete it, the preview goes away. If I press Command Z and undo, the preview comes back. This is just an assistant. So if this preview is getting on your nerves, see how it's kind of acting weird? It's it's bouncing all around doing. I mean, it's fine. It's doing what it wants to do. You could just comment this out. Put slash 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 slash, and now it's gone. Comment these 3 lines out. Do what you do here, and you're good to go.